This class is an all levels yoga class. It's suitable for everyone, keeping in mind that you can make the practice your own. So if there is a pose that you can't do because of maybe an injury or lack of strength, you just skip it or you modify. And I will do my best to give you modifications to take things up a notch or to make things more gentle for you. So my husband's just bringing me over my class plan that I wrote last night. So thank you. So we'll start today by finding a nice, comfortable seat. I'm sitting in Sukhasana, but you could take any seated position at this time, making sure that that spine is tall. Be sure to pull the flesh away from those sit bones so that you are firmly rooted to whatever it is you're sitting on. Bring the navel in towards the spine to engage those abdominal muscles. Crown of the head reaches towards the ceiling, and then bring the shoulder blades together and down the back, and we'll place the hands on the thighs, palms up, and close your eyes. Start to become aware of the breath, allowing it to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Start to bring the breath into balance by making the inhale the same length as the exhale. With each inhale, allow that spine to grow nice and tall. And then as you exhale, keep the length in the spine and just allow the body to soften. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Relax the jaw by creating a space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. When we breathe in this way, it's called samavritti breathing. It translates to same wave or balanced breath. As you sit and breathe, I'm going to read from the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. And this is the translation from Swami Satchidananda. And this is the translation that I used in my yoga teacher training. And I highly recommend it if you're interested. So today I'm going to read from Book 2, Sutra 46. Sthira, Sukham, Asanam. Asana is a steady, comfortable posture. So asana is the same thing as poses. Each asana is a yoga pose. Asana means the posture that brings comfort and steadiness. Any pose that brings this comfort and steadiness is an asana. If you can achieve one pose, that is enough. It may sound easy, but in how many poses are we really comfortable and steady? As soon as we sit in a particular position, there's a small cramp here, a tiny pain there. We have to move this way and that. Continuously, we are reminded of our legs, hands, hips, and spine. Unless the body is perfectly healthy and free from all toxins and tensions, a comfortable pose is not easily obtained. Physical and mental toxins create stiffness and tension. Anything that makes us stiff can also break us. Only if we are supple will we never break. So just think about that for a few moments. Asana is a comfortable, steady posture. So I'll remind you of that throughout our practice today. When we're in certain poses, are you comfortable? Are you steady? If not, if you're pushing through pain to achieve a pose, it's no longer yoga. It's more just like an exercise. So as yogis, we need to be sure that we are practicing in a comfortable and a steady way. Now, will we have instances where we go into a pose and ooh, that hurts that back muscle? That's okay. That teaches us maybe I should come out of the pose a little bit until I feel comfortable and steady. So you can play around with it a little bit and figure out what expression of the pose is right for you. Let's bring the hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. We'll breathe together 3 times, and on the 3rd exhale, share the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Inhale, and exhale. And for the 3rd time together, inhale. Bow your head. Place the hands on the thighs. Softly open your eyes, looking forward. I apologize if you can hear the chatter coming from upstairs. My little one is on a class meeting, and it should be over any minute now. Volume's up a little too. So we're going to start today in our seated position, Sukhasana, and we're going to start by warming up the neck. So let that spine grow nice and tall. As you exhale, begin to turn the head to look to the left. Inhale, come back to center. And then as you exhale, turn that head to look to the right. Inhale to center, 2 more on each side. So right here, right now, are you feeling comfortable? Are you steady in your pose? If not, you can make adjustments. Perhaps you could sit up on blocks or take a different leg position. Whatever you need to do, because this is your practice. Come back to a neutral neck, neutral spine. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to lower the left ear towards the left shoulder, stretching the right side of the neck. As you inhale, come back up. And as you exhale, begin to tip the head to the right, stretching the left side of the neck. Inhale, back up. 2 more on each side. When you finish, you can just bring that head and neck back to neutral. Bring your arms by your sides, and we're going to start to make some nice big shoulder circles going backwards, making those shoulder circles as big as you can. And then reverse the direction of those shoulder circles. So now we're going forward. And then rest the arms by your sides. As you inhale, arms come up overhead. And as you exhale, arms come back down by your sides. You're moving with your breath at your own pace. So if you're going at a different rate of speed than I am, that's perfectly fine. Shoulder injuries are quite common. And if you had a shoulder injury that caused pain when you lifted your arms up overhead, then just skip the arm raises and focus on the breath. The next time the arms are up overhead, allow the palms to come together to touch. And then as you exhale, bring those hands to the heart. Take your left hand by your side, and reach the right fingertips towards the ceiling. So remember to root down through the sit bones, create as much length in the spine as you can, and then as you exhale, begin to tip to the left. So you're rooting down through both sit bones here, really bowing out the right ribs. Feel the stretch in the right side of the body. Slowly bring yourself back up. Place the right hand by your side. Left arm reaches towards the ceiling, so you're making sure you're rooting down. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, begin to tip to the right, this time bowing out those left ribs. Slowly bring yourself back up. So now we'll place the hands on the knees and we're going to practice a seated cat and cow. For just a moment, I'll turn to the side so you can have a better view. Take a breath in. As you exhale, round your spine towards the wall behind you. Then as you inhale, the belly comes forward and we arch that back. So exhale, round. Inhale, arch. So continue moving with your breath. One of the ways to remember, well, do I do that on the exhale or the inhale? For the most part, think about as you exhale, your belly area is smaller. And then as you inhale, your belly area is bigger. So we typically want to compress the belly area on an exhale because that area is smaller at that time. Good. Come back to a neutral neck, neutral spine. Again, I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me, but I'm going to turn this way because this is my better arm. Clasp your hands together behind you. Bring the shoulder blades together and down the back. So I'm really pressing my fist towards the floor. I'm going to lift up through my sternum and just take a slight back bend here. Make sure you're breathing. Comfortable, steady posture. Slowly bring yourself back up and then begin to hinge from the hips as the clasped hands come up overhead. Bring yourself up once again. Let's come to all fours, hands and knees. When you're on all fours, the knees are just hip width apart. The knees are slightly behind your hips. I use this thick pad under my knees because I have some knee issues, and this is a modification that I make so that I can practice Sthira, Sukham, Asanam. If I didn't have this pad, it would no longer be yoga because my knees would hurt so bad. I would no longer be comfortable. Your hands are shoulder width apart and they're slightly forward of your shoulders. Tuck that tailbone slightly. Take a breath in. As you exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs. Coming to extended child's pose, so those elbows are up off of the mat. As you inhale, come back up, all fours, hands and knees. So continue moving with your breath here. Exhaling back, smaller belly area. Inhale up, more space for that belly. You're moving with your breath at your own pace. Inhale and exhale are equal. Come back up to all fours and pause there. From here, we're going to transition to downward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Start to shift your hips towards your heels. The knees lift as you press back through the heels, straightening the legs as much as you can, but knowing that it's perfectly fine to keep a bend in the knee in down dog. Relax the heels towards the mat. Relax the head and neck. Start to bend those knees. Go back down into child's pose. Inhale up all fours and we'll move right back into down dog. So we curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Knees lift as you press back. From down dog, sweep the right leg out behind you. Step that right foot forward between the hands, or you can pick the foot up and just place it there. However it gets there is fine. Lower the left knee to the mat and then uncurl the toes on the left foot. As you inhale, arms sweep up and those hips shift forward to stretch the front of that left hip. Keep the navel drawn in. For a more gentle option, you could bring the hands to the hips. So now we're going to bring the arms up overhead and straighten the spine. Arms come out like a T. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to twist to your left as you gaze out over the right fingertips. Breathe here. Come back to center, arms up overhead. Lower the hands down, one on either side of that right foot. Step the right knee back to meet the left. Take a moment to shift back to child's pose. And come back up. All fours. Once again, we'll move into downward facing dog. Sweep the left leg out behind you. Step that left foot forward and lower the right knee. Uncurl those toes. As you inhale, arms sweep up as the hips shift forward. So come back up to a tall spine here. Bring the arms out like a T. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to twist to the right as you gaze out over those left fingertips. Come back to center. Lower the hands, one on either side of that left foot. Step the left knee back to meet the right, and let's transition back into downward facing dog. So in down dog, we want to make sure those hips are pointing to the back of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. Heels relax towards your mat, head and neck relax. Sweep that right leg out behind you. Step it forward between the hands. So we're keeping the heel up on that left foot. As you inhale, arms sweep up. So we find ourselves in a high lunge. So here, you're reaching up through the back of that left thigh. Gaze is forward. Bring the arms out like a T, palms face the floor. Take a breath in. As you exhale, gaze out over those right fingertips. Now to modify, you could absolutely lower the back heel. Cartwheel those hands down, one on either side of your right foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Sweep the left leg out behind you. Step it forward or pick it up and move it. Place it between the hands. If you can, you're keeping your right heel up. If you need to lower it, you can lower it. As you inhale, arms sweep up for a high lunge. Again, we're lifting the back of the right thigh towards the ceiling. Arms come out like a T, palms face the floor. Take a breath in. As you exhale, begin to twist to the right as you gaze out over the left fingertips. Cartwheel the hands down, one on either side of that left foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Start to walk the feet forward towards your hands, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. Relax the head and neck here. Just let the head relax. Your head is really heavy, so if you truly relax the head and neck, that heavy head will deepen your forward bend. Place your hands on your hips. Press down through the feet to bring yourself up. So from here, we'll take a nice big step back with that right foot and turn the toes out slightly. So looking at a clock face, the toes would be turned out to about a 2. As you inhale, arms reach up. And as you exhale, that front knee bends. For Warrior 1, Virabhadrasana 1. Bring those arms out like a T, palms face the floor. Take a breath in. As you exhale, begin to twist to the right as you gaze out over those left fingertips. For Warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Place the right hand on the back of the right thigh. Turn the left palm to face the ceiling, and then draw an arch across the ceiling as you take it back for Reverse Warrior. So this is a back bend, but our legs have not changed. Remember to breathe. Are you comfortable? Are you steady? If not, make adjustments. Bring yourself back up to Warrior 2. Cartwheel the hands down, one on either side of your left foot, and we'll step back to downward facing dog. Start to walk the feet forward once again. Uttanasana, forward fold. Press down through those feet. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Take a nice big step back with that left foot. Toes turn out slightly, so if you're looking at a clock, they'd be pointing to about the 10. As you inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, bend that right knee. Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Arms come out like a T, palms face the floor. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to twist to your left as you gaze out over the right fingertips for Virabhadrasana 2. Place your left hand on the back of the left thigh. Turn that right palm to face the sky, and then draw an arch across the ceiling, taking it back, Reverse Warrior. Make sure you're breathing. Press down through the feet, bring yourself back up, warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down, one on either side of that right foot. Step back to downward facing dog. Start to walk the feet forward once again. Coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. Press down through the feet. Arms start to lift. Once they're in line with the ears, use that core. Bring yourself all the way up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. So we're going to take the hands behind us, clasp them together. Bring the shoulder blades together and down the back. Draw the navel in towards the spine. So we're going to press the fist down towards the floor, lift up through the sternum, and just take a slight back bend here. Slowly bring yourself back up and then hinge forward, bringing those clasped hands up overhead. Release the hands. You can place them on the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Start to bend those knees. Go back down into child's pose and rest. So here you can let those elbows come down to the mat. You could cross the forearms in front of you and rest, or bring your arms back by your legs, whatever feels restful. Take a few moments, come back to the breath. And now let's come to lay down on our belly. So just lay down on your belly. You can cross the forearms in front of you, rest your forehead. Bend your knees and just let those legs sway from side to side. Let those legs become still. Lower them down to the mat. Bring your hands right next to your chest. We're going to practice cobra pose today. So a lot of people think that cobra is just a push-up. We're just pushing ourselves up and holding. But there's more to it than that. So what you're going to do is press the hands into the mat and then press the hands towards the feet. This will cause your whole body to shift forward, and then you rise. As you exhale, lower. Isometrically drag the hands back. The chest sweeps through the arms as you rise. Exhale, lower. Go ahead and do that 3 more times on your own. You can keep those elbows bent, or you can straighten the arms, whatever's better for your back. Whatever you do, when you come up, keep the shoulders relaxed away from the ears, the neck nice and long. When you finish, you can just come down to the mat, cross the forearms in front of you, and rest your forehead. Next, we'll practice a pose that we don't practice very often in my classes, but I do really like it. Ardha Bakasana, half frog pose. So for this pose, you're going to bend your left knee. hold that thought. First, bring the forearms to the ground. The elbows are right under your shoulder, just like Sphinx pose, and the wrists come right out from the elbow. Then you're going to take your right arm and bring that forearm parallel to the top of your mat. So your elbows coming out from your shoulder and then the wrist from the elbow. Next, you'll bend your left knee. Then reach back with the left hand. See if you can grasp the top of the foot. So in this pose, you're drawing your heel to the outer edge of your left glute, if it's okay for your knee. Then, I call this flipping your grip. You're going to turn your fingers towards the front of the room so they're facing forward. Elbow to the sky. Gaze forward. Breathe here. Release that left leg. Let it come down to the ground. Cross the forearms in front of you. Rest the forehead. Come back up onto those forearms. Then you'll take that left forearm parallel to the top of your mat. Bend your right knee. Reach back with the right hand. See if you can grasp the top of the foot. And then you'll draw that right heel towards the outside of the right glute. Then begin to turn your fingertips to look towards the front of the room, elbow towards the sky. Breathe here. Release the right foot. Cross the forearms in front of you. Rest your forehead. Bend both knees and let them sway from side to side, or let the legs sway from side to side. Let the legs become still. Lower them to the ground. Roll over onto your back. Once you get there, you can hug the knees into the chest, coming to Asanam. Feel free to rock gently from side to side here. So we're sticking with the back bend theme that we did yesterday in gentle yoga, and hopefully today I'm going to start posting this backlog of videos that I have up to YouTube. So then you'll have access to these classes all the time, and you could maybe try the gentle yoga back bend class. See how it compares to the all levels, and you can learn kind of which class is best for you or which modifications are best for you. Or if there's a pose that was difficult, you can just watch the video again and try it again. So lower the feet to the floor and bring your arms by your sides, palms face the floor. As you inhale, press down through the feet. Lift your hips. Then as you exhale, lower the hips. So you'll continue to lift and lower, moving with the breath. When we lift the hips, you want to make sure that the knees don't jut out past your ankles. And also, you want to keep the knees from V'ing out. We want to keep everything in line. Something that you can do to help with that, if you have a block or even a soccer ball or something like that, is just place a block or ball between the knees to help sort of train your legs to stay in their proper alignment. So the next time you lower, pause there and we'll add the arms. As you inhale, hips lift as those arms come up overhead. And then as you exhale, arms start to lower and everything touches down together. Inhale, hips lift, arms lift. Exhale, everything lowers. The next time you lower, pause. We're going to do bridge pose again, but this time we're going to hold the pose. And we're going to go for 30 seconds. If you need to come down sooner, that's perfectly fine. So go ahead, press down through the feet, arms come up overhead, and we'll hold the pose. Make sure you're not holding the breath. We want to keep the weight out of the neck. Inhale and exhale are equal. The pose is steady and comfortable. Slowly lower those hips, lower the arms. If you're using something between the knees, you can remove it and hug those knees into your chest. Rock gently side to side here. Keep those knees hugged in. Arms come out like a T. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to tip to your left. So you're tipping your legs over to the left. Left leg comes down to the mat. Right leg just rests on top of the left. If your right shoulder is sort of dangling in space, just bend the elbow, place the hand on the rib cage. Feel free to close your eyes. Watch your breath. Bring the knees back up towards the chest. And on the next exhale, you'll begin to tip the legs over to the right. So you're twisting to the right. If that left arm is sort of dangling in space, you'll just bend the elbow, place the hand on the rib cage. And slowly draw the knees back towards the chest. Keep the arms out like a T, palms face the ceiling. Press the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling. Begin to rotate the ankles. Reverse the direction of your ankle rotation. Let the ankles become still. Lower those legs until they're about 2 inches away from your mat. Keeping the arms out like a T, you'll draw the knees into the chest. Press the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, and then lower the legs until they're about 2 inches away from the ground. Draw the knees in. Press the soles of the feet up towards the sky. And keeping your low back firmly rooted to the earth, you'll lower those legs until they're about 2 inches away from the ground. Continue moving on your own here. If the lowering of both legs is a bit much for your back, You can also do one at a time or just alternate and just do one on one round and do the other leg on the next round. See if you can do 4 more rounds. If you're alternating legs, that would be 2 on each leg. When you finish, you can hug the knees into the chest. Become still. Lower the soles of the feet to the mat. Bring your arms by your sides once again. Palms face the floor. On the inhale, press down through the feet. Lift those hips. And as you exhale, lower. Inhale, hips lift. Exhale, hips lower. The next time you lower those hips, pause there. Bring your feet to the outer edges of your mat and let your knees just fall in towards one another. Take the index fingers of both hands, link them together, and then bring those arms up overhead. Take a few moments, watch the breath here. If there were any poses today that were not comfortable or steady for you, and you had a difficult time thinking of a modification, let me know and I can give you suggestions. Bring the arms by your sides once again, palms face the floor. Let the knees come back to neutral, and then just let those knees sway from side to side. And you can place your hands anywhere that's comfortable here. The next time the soles of the feet are on the mat, pause there. Hug those knees in once more. As you inhale, the knees pull away from the chest, arms straighten. As you exhale, draw those knees in. Inhale, knees pull away, more belly space here. Exhale, less belly space, knees pull in. Hug those knees in one more time. Place the soles of the feet on the mat. We're going to begin to transition into Shavasana, the last pose of our class. Shavasana is an asana, so it can be modified. There's actually quite a large amount of people that find great discomfort when laying flat on their back, which is traditionally done in Shavasana. So if that's not comfortable for you, I want you to adjust. If you need to lay on your belly, on your side. One thing that's really nice is if you have a chair and then you put your calves up on the chair and just let them rest there. That's very comfortable. So go ahead and get comfortable. Grab your socks, grab a sweater, whatever you might need. And then you'll just come to your Shavasana. We'll be practicing Shavasana for 5 minutes today. And if Shavasana is hard for you, mentally, like a lot of people think, oh, it's such a waste of time, I'm just laying there. Think about all the times that you wish you just had 5 minutes to rest. Now is that time. So go ahead and get comfortable. Traditional Shavasana, legs are extended out nice and long. Feet just flop open. The arms are by your sides, palms face the ceiling, and the arms are just a few inches away from the body. Relax your jaw by creating a space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth and let your eyes just rest in their sockets. Resist the urge to make subtle movements. Let your natural breath take over and rest in Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen your breath, becoming aware of the room once again and becoming aware of your body. You can start to make any subtle movements that might feel good, like wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. Rotate through those wrists and ankles. Turn the head gently from side to side. And then stretch through the arms and the legs like you're just waking up. Nice full body stretch. Roll to the side in the fetal position and we'll stay there for a few breaths. Keeping your eyes closed if you'd like, use your arms to bring yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Once you get there, you can bring the hands to the heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. One of the things that I love to do is give my students inspiration to take their yoga off of the mat and into their everyday life. So as you go through your day today, remember Sthira, Sukham, Asanam. Asanam is a comfortable, steady practice. Any posture that is comfortable and steady can be an asana. So that way you can take yoga into all sorts of different areas of your day. If you are doing the dishes, but you're uncomfortable in the way that you're doing it, change it up. Make it comfortable. Be stable, be sturdy, steady. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you have ease of well-being. Namaste.